Kurt, I just wanted to talk real quick about this concept of begging the question. Um, so begging the question, the white guy's definition for it that I've never really latched onto, but I'll tell you what it is when you assume the answer to the question as a proposition within your proof. That's pretty much what it is. Um, that if that doesn't make any sense to you, it never made any sense to me, but it finally clicked in my head and I get it. And I'll explain the Kurtlish definition. The Kurtlish definition is when you are on your hands and knees telling the question what the answer is prior to you knowing what the answer is. So you're begging the question for it to go your way. The greatest beggars of the question are the computer scientists who say that P is probably not equal to NP. In fact, they begged the question in the outset of the question. Um, they put Stephen Cook's paper for is P equal to NP or otherwise basically specifies at the end of the paper that it's probably not equal to NP. So he's begging the question from the get go. And then I was thinking about that paper that I bashed the other day, where if P equals NP, then P equals NX or X, and that is illogical because of the verifier. And then I was thinking, well, maybe he created a machine such that P would equal NP, but then P would also equal X. And then he went from there and said that with this machine, this way, there's only, you would have to make P equal to X. And in my mind, dude, I mean, I haven't read your paper, but if you showed all paths for P being equal to NP um, makes P equal to X, then that makes sense. But I don't think you showed all paths. You want to know why? Because I just existed one path. I think you begged the question and assumed you were right and then came up with a path such that P equals X, but you were like, this is this is my this is my time. I proved P not equal to NP because I proved P equal to X in my begging of the question. Um, like what the fuck? No, I know I'm right. I proved P equal to NP when I was 22 years old. And you guys don't have to believe me, but I have. And it's just a rainbow table for 3 set. It's the simplest thing in the world. I'm not ever going to be wrong. So you guys don't have to believe me now. You can wait until I'm old and deceased and you've decided to finally fucking listen to me. But P equals NP. Einstein was a strict determinist. It's a classical machine. You can only be in one state at once, even if you have multiple choices. You aren't getting yourself any extra power from just having extra choices for non determinism. Your power is in knowledge. Depending on the knowledge the machine has, changes what configurations it can be in. Anyway, log equals n log. Y'all just screwed the pooch on that one. If the deterministic Turing machine knows the input, it doesn't have to read the input, it can just jump to the right answer. You gave the piece of knowledge about knowing the input to the non-deterministic Turing machine pretty much, because you said since it has the answer, it can jump to it, but it doesn't even know the input to know which answer to jump to. So you're encoding something in there. AKA, it just omnisciently knows the question that it's reading. And if the deterministic Turing machine omnisciently knows the question, then it can jump to the right answer too, motherfuckers. Like, if you encode it that way. Anyway, I just am a little bit upset that someone hasn't stolen my proof yet. I'm waiting. I'm like trying to share it with the widest audience that is comfortable with me. And no one has yet to steal my proof. I guess you guys think I'm fucking insane. But I'm telling you, excuse me, you want to make $1 million? This is how you do it. You have to have lots of balls because not even I have the balls to do it. But you should do it. You should prove them. Tell them to stop begging the fucking question. Get off their hands and knees. We aren't omniscient, please. We're determined. Um, that's the way it is. You don't really have free will. It's all an illusion, but it's persistent illusion. That persistent bugger that sticks with us, the non-determinism of relative experience, it sticks with us. You're stuck with it. Congratulations. Um, but it's not really real because at the speed of light, time doesn't pass. Time just is. So time doesn't really pass for us. It's just a persistent bugger. It's a persistent illusion. Stop begging the question, or else you'll never find the truth. I didn't beg the question. I don't really know if I like this answer. It just happens to be the answer. Because you can have a rainbow table for 3 sat and I existed 1. I have to exist 1. For you to prove P not equal to NP, you have to show that for all cases, P is not equal to NP. There's not one deterministic Turing machine that can solve an NP complete problem. I solved an NP complete problem with one Turing machine. There's lots of different things that you have to do to make it fit in your system, but it does fit in your system. The basic line is rainbow table for 3 sat. All I have to do is encode the answers in the Turing machine. Oh my fucking god. The certificate is the determiner. Who would have thunk it? The answer is the answer. You can't know what you don't know. It's all an illusion, the non-determinism. But it is real. Anyway, if you'd like to pay attention to me at some point, I have the answers. I promise you they're right. I promise you I'm not an imposter. Because this is something that I know without any doubt. Because I've been holding on to it since August of 2020 when I solved P equals NP in my bathtub by posing the question, what if there was such KB such that the deterministic Turing machine could query that KB in KB stands for knowledge base in polytime in order to solve the answer, such that the knowledge base is programmed in its transition table and the transitions that it's going to take. That's all you have to do. And then from there, I just realized the answer was the answer, and that's the easiest knowledge base. Doesn't matter how big it is because it's in the transition table. You're only writing the stuff that you need. But y'all, if you want to listen to Stephen Cook beg the question within the posing of the question, I mean, you could say I'm begging the question the other way, but I'm stating definitively. I'm not just saying this is probably the answer. I know I'm right. I don't think that people will believe me. I'm not under the impression that people will believe me, but I know. I'm 100. I'm 99. I'm 4 nines positive that P equals NP, and that y'all are eventually going to have to come to that conclusion. So stop begging the question and just listen to the answer. because it's there. The truth is there, waiting for you to reach out and grab it. Oh, also, religion is trying to say the same thing that science is. Stop. Stop being egotistic heathens and saying that you're better than the religious people. There's nothing wrong with a religion. Some people get caught up in cults of religion, which tells them that there's only one way to perceive reality, and it's through the cult's eyes. That's not religion in its purest form. Just like there's parts of science that aren't science in its purest form. I mean, people have been going under the guise of science for years. Mostly I'm thinking about like that, like measuring people's heads for race things to find the perfect something. I don't know. It was started by the dude that started probability. Not probability, statistics. We hate statistics. Statistics beg the question. I don't know if that's true. I don't know enough about math to know that. I know that probability is more real. I need to stop talking about maths. I don't know anything about maths. Don't listen to me when I talk about maths, except you can listen to me when I talk about computational complexity, which people think is really associated with maths, but it's not necessarily. I'm a logician and know about computational complexity. I don't know how to implement it in real life. I'm a logician. Okay? I can't build the machine in real life. I need lots of help from mathematicians in order to do that. I'm not that smart. I'm just telling you that you could theoretically, and I existed one machine, and that's all it takes. I existed one. That's all it takes to prove P equal to NP. One. And I existed it, theoretically, not in real life. But theoretically, it's good enough. Theoretically gets you places. We've been existing stuff theoretically from the beginning of time. It allows us to beg the question.